Toyota South Africa and several major car dealerships, including 4 banks, are amongst the defendants in a multi-billion rand class action suit that has just launched. And there's another to follow. BizNews Investigations editor Martin Welds did the story you're about to hear. The original article can be found on biznews.com. An application to launch a class action lawsuit aimed at recovering billions of rands in damages suffered by thousands of ignorant taxi owners who were sold unsafe, fake Toyota Quantum Sesfikili taxis was issued by the South Gauteng High Court on Thursday the 17th of March. Another class action application seeking billions more in damages on behalf of the victims of the many lethal road accidents that resulted is in preparation and likely to follow shortly. Both actions have been triggered by a damning report issued by the Public Protector in March 2019. The application issued on the 17th of March is being served on no less than 74 defendants. Amongst the better known are Toyota South Africa Motors, Westbank, ABSA, Standard Bank, Nedbank, SA Taxi Finance, and others. The pro forma applicants are Peter Mashala and Moses Nkosi, both represented by attorney Zane Lundell. Sponsors of the case are prepared for the litigation to cost as much as 40 million rand. Coordinating the action is attorney Richard Spoor, famous for having successfully conducted previous class actions on this scale. Now, genuine quantum taxis are robustly designed to carry up to 16 passengers. The similarly shaped but more lightly and cheaply constructed Toyota panel van may carry only 3 passengers and is registered and licensed under a different regulatory code. Noseweek's source, former ABSA banker Henny de Beer, had evidence of at least 165 major road accidents involving illegal quantum panel van taxis, when he was blocked from accessing the website on which the accidents were recorded. Those accidents had resulted in as many as 350 deaths. Research indicated that the average death rate was 2.4 people killed in each such accident. The purpose of the government's recapitalization program, introduced in 2004, was to replace old, run-down and unsafe taxis with a new standardized fleet of safe, effective, reliable, affordable and accessible taxis. The state paid taxi owners a 50,000 rand scrapping fee for their old vehicles, money they could use as a deposit for a new, safer one. Stock shortages of the new purpose-built taxis, however, created an opportunity for unscrupulous manufacturers, importers and builders to illegally convert cheaper but similar-looking Toyota panel vans into taxis for a huge profit. Illegal conversions are fitted with up to 16 seats that are bolted to the thin floor, not the chassis of the vehicle. Seatbelts are only connected to the seats and not the vehicle structure. The roof pillars are not reinforced and the windows are cut into the side panels, further weakening the structure. These conversions were then opportunistically financed without question by the major banks and specialist taxi financiers. Statistics from the National Association of Automobile Manufacturers of SA show an increase of almost 85% in sales of quantum panel vans from 2005 to 2007. The bank subsequently refused to assist taxi owners who had unwittingly bought converted panel vans with bank finance when their taxi licenses were withdrawn, but instead repossessed their vehicles only to refinance them to other unsuspecting taxi owners. Aware that illegal conversions broke the law, Toyota South Africa, while warning their dealers about this, nevertheless told them how they might get around the problem and continue selling vans for conversion to taxis while avoiding liability. The immense regulatory failure of oversight would have gone unnoticed or been swept under the carpet were it not for De Beer's perseverance. De Beer, who was once ABSA's national manager for taxi financing, resigned in 2009 because he could no longer ignore the fact that the panel van conversions were putting people's lives at risk. And the banks and taxi financiers' outright refusal to assist any of the affected taxi owners they had financed when their vehicles were subsequently taken off the road. In 2012, De Beer took his evidence to the then Public Protector, Thuli Madonsela, who started the investigation and handed it over to a successor, Busisiwe Mkhwebane. De Beer had claimed that structurally defective and non-homogenized Toyota panel vans were modified by the MIBs and converted to taxis, despite the fact they were not safe for the purpose, nor did they meet safety regulations, national standards, and requirements. They should never have been permitted to operate as taxis, he said. At the end of March 2019, De Beer was vindicated when the public protector, Mkhwebane, released her report, in which she called for those implicated to be prosecuted. That date explains why summons for the class action was issued on the 17th of March, to meet the 3-year prescription deadline. The public protector found that 2,353 illegally converted panel vans were operating as taxis on South Africa's roads. Now that was an understatement. The Special Investigation Unit found that 6,450 illegally converted quantum panel van taxis were registered on the eNATA system. The Public Protector's report made damning findings against the Department of Transport, Toyota South Africa Motors, financial institutions, and the National Regulator for Compulsory Specifications. Here's a brief case history. Bennett Hlongwane was the owner and driver of an illegal conversion. He was identified as a first-time taxi owner by SA Taxi Finance and supplied with an SA Taxi Finance repossession through INS Motors in Vereniging and given a taxi permit for 5,000 Rand. The vehicle was grossly overpriced, and Hlongwane was fully exploited by the bank and the dealer as an unsuspecting person. Hlongwane twice complained in person to the motor dealer that there was something wrong with the vehicle's road holding, but was chased away. 8 months later, the vehicle rolled while traveling at low speed, killing a child and severely injuring 5 passengers. As a result, Hlongwane lost everything, is now unemployed, and suffers emotionally. Thanks for watching.